Welcome, you now listening to episode 42, Style of Play Football with myself, Theo, and Kojo. What you saying, man? You good?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I was gonna say the sun. No, I will say this actually. The sun is shining, man. We've had some mad rain. I don't know what it's like been down by you, yeah, but the rain has been an
It's been
absolute madness.
yeah, no, it's been pouring down here as well. But I'm a bit controversial. I'm not against rain. I kind of like rain. I was the madman who went to go in for. I mean, my neighbor called me a madman the next morning because it was pouring down torrential, and I'm just taking the bins out, just walking through it like it's nothing. Just slammed it in there. I just strolled back in. It looked me like, well, are you okay? I like the rain, man. But that maybe
Nah,
let me.
I like the
I'm
rain when
maybe
you. I like it when you're
biased.
inside though. When you're inside the house, it's all right. But and when
I
you're
hear
playing
that.
football, when you're playing football, like last night I had to play football, so that was calm. Do you know what I mean? I was in the rain, whatever, not a
Yeah.
problem. But when you know you're just like you're just out in it, you don't need to be out in it. Different story then, man. You gotta get me in the house, man. Gotta stay in the yard, man. You see my thing on Instagram the other day in it with the green ticks. You see that? That's me
You
all
tick
over now.
every box, all the
Every single
boxes.
box, man. Every single box. But no, no. I'm good, man. Apart from that, I'm good. For anyone who's new to the channel, if you're listening for the first time, you joining live or you're joining after the live stream, make sure you like the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you give us your thoughts in the comments as well. Make sure you also check out the audio version of the podcast, which is normally available straight after the visuals are up on YouTube. So yeah, make sure you check those out as well. But let's go back to Sunday because I heard a lot of screaming up and down the country from Arsenal fans. A lot of screaming. We're gonna get into it, but we're talking Manchester City, Arsenal. Probably the biggest game so far, I think, of this season. I would probably say in terms of that, the grand scheme of things, one of the bigger games so far. But what was your thoughts on the game first of all? What did you think?
I enjoyed it, but I'll tell you why I enjoyed it. Whilst you're coming from the angle of the Arsenal fans being rattled, I enjoy City fans being rattled. Let me tell you why.
Of
Yeah,
course.
and the players as well. The players especially. It's the players that got me even more happier when I heard their comments after the game. There's an issue in football, yeah, where, and I'm going to use this term very, very well. I'm using this with purpose. Clubs like City expect you to go toe to toe with them, and then when you go down to 10 men, they still expect you to go out there and off pant. Hear what I'm saying here? Yeah, they want you to drop panties for them. They want you to just open up and be loose. It's it was so enjoyable to watch them face a deep block and not know how to get through it
Yeah.
until the last second, where a few of couple deflections got them in a spot of fortune, and they got their equalizer. But they complained about stuff that just didn't make sense. Kyle Walker complained at referee about, oh yeah, you didn't give me time to get into place properly. When the kick was taken, you were in position. You just didn't turn around. But that's the thing, though. If you knew how to defend in the first place, because you've never been a good defender, you're a speedster. You're meet me, Roadrunner, and Coyote. One of them in front. That's what you are. You're a speedster. And then Calafiori rocked your world with that shot, rattled you. And then you and City and set piece defending. See, the thing is, yeah, what Arsenal do at set pieces is not new. They were doing it all last season as well. And
Yeah.
Gabriel's a big threat. If you see five, six, seven Arsenal players at the back post and you see five, six, seven City players at the front post, where the hell do you think the ball's going to get whipped to?
I hear you, man. No, I hear you.
And then putting Doku on Gabriel first was stupid. Putting Kyle Walker on him secondly was stupid because
Yep.
these are got guys that have good marking. They don't beat players in the air on a consistent basis. This is not their it's not their thing. So you conceded a goal that you rightfully conceded. The first warning, you had the first warning, and you didn't wake up to the issue, right? And then it was good to see them just do what they do, pass, but not find a way through. This is football. You can't
Yeah.
expect. I criticise Klopp about the same thing in the past, and I'll criticise any other manager that's the same thing. It's not a pet thing. It's not a York City thing. But you can't expect teams who are. I don't see. Yeah, actually, I use the word weaker. But if they're in a position where they're ahead of you, they are a bit rude. If they're in a position, where you're a better team, or in this situation they're down to 10 men and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
clearly know that they can't control the game. Expecting them to be so open is quite frankly stupid. it's quite frankly stupid. So Bernardo Silva coming out saying, maybe because Arsenal haven't won a league title yet and Liverpool, that's why Liverpool was coming through that. What do you mean?
No,
What
no.
do you mean? That's very stupid. And also Liverpool's qualities are very different to Arsenal's qualities, especially in that time of your rivalry. So it's not the same battle. It shouldn't be the same battle. Otherwise, it's just going to keep you keep winning titles, and then one club wins one in between. We're not looking for that. John Stones, Arsenal come here. It's not surprising. This is not the third or fourth game they've done that here. Like, okay, so if they keep doing it, find a way to break them down.
It's
You know what it sounds
facts.
like? It sounds like a you problem. That's what it
No,
sounds. It
no,
sounds
no.
like a
It's
you.
facts. It's facts.
You
It's
know what I mean?
facts. It's facts. It
But
was
yeah, I'll say
interesting.
for them.
No, it was interesting because I feel with the way that the game unfolded, it kind of was a bit like Arsenal wanted it more. I think, especially in the first half, they wanted it a lot more. And I feel I've always said this about City. You know, if you take the game to City, whether it's at the Etihad, whether it's your ground, whatever ground, take the game to them. Don't sit back. Don't think that they're this electrifying team because yes, they are. Of course, they are. They're going to be a team that's going to come at you, and they got certain players that are trickery. They can break through the lines and whatever else. Yeah, but if you take the game to City, watch how quick they fold. Watch how quick they fold because they don't know. They're not used to that. So putting Carl Walker in a defensive position where he has to defend, he's going to be exposed. Do you know what I mean? And I feel Arsenal utilised that very well the first half. I don't like all this sort of thing afterwards where like people make excuses, like you just said about City. They make loads of excuses, too many excuses for why they couldn't see that game out and why they couldn't really break down Arsenal. Because Chelsea were doing that for time. Chelsea been doing that kind of thing for time where they can break teams down. Chelsea can also do the thing where they can part the bus. Under Jose, we could do both. So good teams can do both sides of the thing. They can either attack really, really well and they can also defend really, really well. And I don't think City, yes, they might have a Kanji, yes, they might have Ruben Diaz, who I'm going to talk about him in a minute because, boy, the amount of touches that guy got in the last couple of minutes of the game was mad. But he's mad. It's mad. I've got to talk about that. But I just think, well, I'm going to ask you this actually. Do you think that it was... So I didn't see the first yellow for Trossard. I missed it. But the second one, what's your thoughts on that?
So the first one was a yellow because
Was it for time
he's
wasting?
intentionally. No, the first one he dragged him back first by the shirt, then by the arm.
Okay,
It was
okay.
intentional pullback. So yeah, you'll get in the car for that. But I will not to defend Trossard, but you've seen games in the past where maybe a referee will say, look, it's a big game, so just one warning and
Relax.
then that's
Yeah.
that. But yeah, but I understand that's yellow card for me, so I'm no complaints there. Now the second one, I've watched this thing so over and over again, and I'm not indecisive, but I'm a
What
bit
did you
like.
think at first though? What was when you was watching the game? What did you first think?
So I thought it was a second yellow because I thought he absolutely clattered Bernardo first. That's what I thought. So I didn't even think about the kick or the supposed kicking the ball away. Because when they played the replay and Cahill was telling me that he's kicked the ball, they're saying this for kick away. I was like, but he's kicking it towards Martinelli's side.
Yeah.
So I think he's trying to play the ball rather
Yeah.
than
Not frustration.
No, not frustration. That's what I thought. But I thought the initial foul was a foul, and I thought, yes, I started shouting the house, like, you're stupid, man, what are you doing? But then when I look at the replay, Bernardo Silva sees him coming, and I've been saying this for a year now. No one's flipping listening to me because everyone focuses on Bruno Fernandes. If you think Bruno Fernandes is a rat, it's a big rat down the road. This guy he does snide things on the pitches, little kickouts and rude behavior, and he just gets away with it. Never gets booked, never gets anything dealt with. Always, and the replays capture as well, but they don't really talk about it. He's a nasty little player, so good, but nasty. He saw him coming and intentionally just turned his back to him because he knew he was going to compete in the air and just held that foul. You know what I mean? But for that one, I thought initially that's a second yellow all day. But now looking at the replay and looking at everything, I think referee, if you're going to give a foul, say, look, final warning, relax, get it done.
Yeah.
If you're kicking the ball away, that's bogus. But we can talk about Michael Oliver, we can talk about Man City and referees and Man City in general because if we really want to delve into this, they're criminals. They're
But
criminals. But
you
anyway,
think back to Kovacic against Odegaard, I think it was last season, and Kovacic almost, it was an ankle breaker of a tackle,
It's ankle
and
injury, yeah.
I think it was a yellow bucket, a yellow card, and I'm pretty sure Michael Oliver, I think, was the
It was
referee
him.
that day.
It was him, yeah. It was him because there was a
So
thread posted. It was him, yeah. Even you guys, what game was it where you had a free kick called Palmer and it hit one of their arms blatantly, and they didn't give a penalty, and it replays. Everyone saw it. It's in the wall. They jump and you just almost whack the ball as it comes this way. There's a lot of evidence. It's poor.
we're gonna
It's
get onto refs in a
poor.
minute. We're gonna get onto the refs.
Let's go.
We're gonna get onto them because it's mad. It's mad. But I want to talk about I forgot what I was going to talk about. My mind's just gone completely blank. This happens a lot for me. Old age. Need to add that to the green ticks, a list of things that on my Instagram. Yeah, we need to talk about the rivalry because obviously that was one of the things that people were sort of building this game up to be like now the kind of the old Arsenal United's Arsene Wenger and Sir Alex and all that. They were building it up. Kind of, I felt like they're trying to resurface something like that in the Premier League so that there's a massive. Obviously, Klopp's gone now, so the next two kind of big heads is going to be Arteta and Pep. Is what they're trying to do, especially on like Sky and all that. But I liked it. I liked that kind of rivalry. I liked Haaland getting in people's faces, bouncing the ball off Gabriel's head. I love all that because to me, I see Roy Keane and someone else said, he needs to get a week's fine and all that for that. Is he all right, Roy Keane? Because he was doing some mad things when he was playing football. He done a lot worse than that, a lot worse. So, do you think like people are just a bit soft in this day and age? Like it's a bit more of like a kind of woke era where we kind of have to make sure we're being nicey. Like I've seen players fly kick man in the chest. Remember what's his name, De Jong?
De Jong, yeah.
What
And
we
he got
doing?
yellow card as well. And he didn't get sent off. He got yellow
Yeah,
card.
come on.
There is. I think people complain about it, but people have moved so much with the times of how the rules have changed that
Yeah,
now when it happens to them, they hate it, and that's what the
yeah,
issue is.
yeah.
Because I think I would even argue and say, look, if I was watching the replay and I saw that happen to, I don't know, Delete, for example, I'd be like, what the like, come on, man. And that's why I understood the Arsenal players reacting at the end of the game and trying to beef him. But if I saw my player do it, I'd be like, guys, come on, man. It's alright, man. It's no, but personal agenda, yeah. As good as a defender he is, another person that's right is Gabriel. He's had that one coming for a while.
Yeah, of course, man.
Be real.
You see the thing in the first like minute of the game. The like
He
side,
yapped.
the shoulder thing. Like, come on, like, he knew what he was doing, man.
You
He
know what I'm
got
saying, man? He yaps a lot. He's like, bro, these players are very intentional, and when it happens to them, their fans scream murder.
to
Listen,
start crying.
football is always a mental game.
Yes.
You know what I mean? People say football's a simple game, and when people say that it is, it's a simple game, the rules and whatever, and the aspect of football, but all the technicals aside and everything, it's up here.
Yeah.
And when you can get into your rival's head up here, because that's what Gabriel's looking to do. He's looking to rattle. He's looking to frustrate. He's looking to piss you off. So you do something very stupid. That's why I talk. That's why I talk about Bernardo Silva. Because
Yeah.
if Bernardo Silva gives you a little kick out and you turn around and you slap him, you're gone. He's on the pitch.
Yeah.
It's these little things that help you win games or win the mental side of things. So
Yep.
yeah, I don't agree with it, but boy, you guys, same time, boy, it's been here for years and it's an enjoyable part of the game if I'm being real. So, boy,
The stakes are high, and I think that's the thing in it. Like the stakes in these kind of games, you're talking the difference between 3 points and 1 point. Yeah, and these are the games where I think you have to win them. Like for me personally, Arsenal had to win that game. Had to win that game on Sunday. I don't think they could afford. I don't think they can afford now to slip up anywhere else this season because City will just run riot at some point, and they do that every single season. They know when to kick into gear. They know when to make sure that they're. Do you know what I mean? They're right. And going back to Trossard, I think he was really unlucky. I think he was really,
yeah,
really unlucky. I feel like in terms of what he done, wasn't for me, didn't warrant a yellow card. Was it a foul? Yes, 100%. I think it's a foul. He pushes him maybe with a bit more force than he needs to. It's a foul. I don't think he's kicking the ball away in frustration. I think he's looking to play the ball through, like you said to Martinelli. And I think when he realizes that, he thinks, because if you watch it back, it's not like the ref blows a whistle and he goes, shit, and starts kicking the ball. I think he's already looking to play that through ball to Martinelli. And the refs, at the same time, the ref is or maybe the ref's already blown the whistle. I'm not saying he doesn't hear it or he hears it. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not him. But it's not. It wasn't a kick out of frustration because the ball didn't even travel that far. It literally just kind of. It's almost like he was halfway through kicking it. The ref blows the whistle, and he can't stop his leg from swinging. He's already there. He's already ready to kick the ball. So, I just think refs now. Before we get on to us, actually, let's talk about Arsenal, the City thing. I need to talk about Ruben Diaz because you see when City were pushing for that goal, it was 2-1, and Arsenal second half literally just defended. They defended well, so we have to give them the credit. They defended very, very well. But you see when you need a goal and you're passing the ball in and around that box, you got Foden on the ball, you got Grealish, you got flipping Bernardo Silva or whoever, and the ball keeps coming back to Ruben Diaz, and you're thinking, the one player you do not want on that ball is Ruben Diaz. He must have touched the ball. In fact, I'll tell you what, he made more passes than Kai Havertz and Justin Timber, who apparently did not make any passes in that game. So, do you think City have done well by scoring the equalisers? Where I'm going with this? Do you think they've done well?
They, they. I won't say they've done well, but you sort of create your own luck in it. You got to take chances.
But they didn't stop
That's
though.
how
They didn't stop. They were resilient. They didn't stop.
they were relentless, but the clubs will always be relentless when they got the time to try and find and create a chance. That's what the game is supposed to be. But they weren't smart with their passing. It was too narrow at times. That they weren't spreading the area enough. Side was always inside, and when they got out wide, it wasn't wide enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could have told Bernardo or
Stretch it.
Foden or Grealish, yeah, stretch it. Doku, take maybe 3 more steps back. You know, so when the player comes out to you, there's a little space created behind that you can take up the player or
You commit one of
whip
the
it in.
defenders.
Yeah, exactly, and they weren't doing that. So, and that I can't call it good play. I can't say that they deserved it, but you create your own luck. And when they got that corner, the corner was very well played. That's where they got their luck. So if they had done that earlier, maybe they would have got an earlier goal. But that's what football is, and this is what I'm saying earlier. You can't be mad at Arsenal as an opponent or as an opposition fan in doing what they did structurally. Just because you can't expect anything else. They're ahead. They don't need to go out and score another goal to win the game. They don't need to. But if they can get you on a break, they will. And
Yeah,
unfortunately for them, but that's what football is, and that's why you saw the petulance of the City players later on in the game. So, yeah, more lucky than anything, but you create your own lucky football.
no, 100%, man. Just before we move on as well, obviously, big loss for Rodri. No, big injury. Ironically as well, the player I think last weekend or the weekend before was talking about too many games. Players might go on strike, and then that happens to him. So I think in some ways maybe that can happen to any player who's played one game all season or 30 games, but it just shows that life comes at you fast, and I don't mean that in a jokey way. Like I'm not taking the piss way out of Rodri at all, but just life comes at you fast sometimes when you least expect it. But speedy recovery, hopefully, because they're nasty injuries. Sometimes they think he's out for the rest of the season. Sometimes you're never the same after that as well. So fingers crossed that it's not that for him. But I want to talk referees, man. I need to talk referees because not just the Arsenal, Michael Oliver, even going back to the Bournemouth Chelsea game, 14 yellow cards I think we had in that game. Some of them were just pointless, stupid ones. Thinking back to Brighton, Nottingham Forest on Sunday as well, sending off both managers. Morgan Gibbs-White got sent off. I watched Preston as well against, I can't remember who they were playing now, but they were playing a game, and the young lad Beck, I think he's on loan from Liverpool, he got a yellow card. I think he got sent off, and the player bit him in the back. The other player bit him in the back. I think he got a yellow card, and Beck got sent off. But the Beck got bit in the back. I know they haven't got VAR, but they got an official that's right there, linesman on the other side, referee. And Anthony Taylor was the fourth official as well. Sorry, let me add that in the Brighton game. He's the one who told the ref to send off Morgan Gibbs-White. Do you think the refs are ruining the game? in football right now.
They are clueless, man. They're so clueless. They don't. If they're on the pitch, they make weird decisions. If they're in the VAR room, they make weird decisions. Do I even have to mention anything about the Vicario situation? What the hell is going on?
Yeah,
One, inside the box. Two,
I
outside the box. A little
man
help
said a
along the
little
way to tee
volleyball.
up
Yeah,
for himself. Little volleyball tee up as well. Get his third one. Like, bro, what is going on? Even my team, the most ridiculous Fimbala, coup de grace, Lisandro Martinez. I can't even call it a challenge. That's assault.
that
He's
was
tried to
crazy.
assault him.
That was
He's tried
crazy.
to assault him. But what are we doing here? These are not things that are difficult to judge. These are easy things that you can see.
I
We
know, I
can
know.
all see it. That's why the Vicario one is the one that pissed me off in particular because he's done that. They kicked it away. The Brentford players are like, guys, like, come on, like you can all see it, and you book Brentford players. Are you?
But this is it.
What are we
This is what's
doing?
annoying. This is what's annoying because, so, like you're seeing people get booked for frustration, but the reason they're frustrated is because the referees aren't doing their jobs properly. So
There you go.
it's mad.
It's a lose lose. It's a lose lose because you can see the stupid decision, and then when you protest it, you're not even allowed to protest it. It's now dissent. But what do you mean it's dissent? You've done the wrong thing, and you've got a camera there to help you. Like, what more do we need here? And the way VR is implemented as well should change as well because I know they say it's by certain stoppages and all that kind of stuff. Listen, someone like the Curry situation, someone he referee should be referee and say, listen, as soon as the ball goes off, go to the camera straight
Yeah,
away. Because
yeah,
if
yeah,
you didn't
of
see
course.
that, you need to see this. That's a red card. But if you want to be sure, go for it. Or it's a yellow card.
Yeah,
Like these things should be challenged. The way they've set rules so you can't challenge it in certain situations. What do you mean? What do you
bro,
mean? You should be able to challenge all situations.
it's wrong.
Like
So
especially like that. It's wrong. So it's the way it's used is just a joke. But the thing is, even if you give these guys the full license to do as much as they want, they'll still make stupid decisions. It's a sickness. It's a sickness.
I said it's an illness.
It's it's just sickness, honestly.
Oh shit! No, I get it. I'm with you 100%. I feel like there's two choices that the FA or the Premier League or whoever have to make. Either you don't have a referee on the pitch, which is craziness, yeah, and you just have someone in the room who's calling the shots because the two ain't, or you have no VAR, and you have the ref actually refereeing the game on the pitch again because I feel like referees are hesitant to make what they think is the right call, and in VAR at times try and overturn it by sending them to the screen. And only in this, I said it before last season, only in this country, I can't remember a time where a referee has, or maybe it's one or twice, but a referee's made a decision on the pitch, been told to go to the screen, and kept his decision that he made on field decision is correct. 9 times out of 10, even the commentators are onto it now. They say, "Oh, he's going to the screen, so you know what that means, don't you?" And it's like if the man's saying that, then where's the decision making from the ref? Like, what power does he have on the pitch now? So to me, that's all. To me, that's a big worry because even all this like surrounding the ref thing, like for me personally, it should just be the captains, which is what I think it should be. Is the captains are the ones that go and speak to the ref, but they should be able to approach the ref for anything and not be booked.
I agree. Yeah, I
Unless
agree.
they're being an
I
idiot. If
agree.
they're being dickheads and they're being an idiot, then of course book them. But if they're just going over to speak to the ref, look, Vicario's just handled that out of the ball. Do you want to go and make sure I'm not talking rubbish? Go and check the screen for yourself and see what that's saying. Pause the game, go and check. Oh yeah, he's handballed it. Red card or yellow card, whatever. Free kick. Problem solved.
Yeah, yeah. No, I can't disagree with that. I genuinely can't disagree with that.
It's
Thing
crazy.
is, I think there was a time when they said, they've spoke to the clubs and they've implored captains to sort of push everyone back and just
Last
speak to
season.
them one on one. Yeah, and then they've just thrown that out the window. So if this is a thing as a footballer now, if you can't talk to the referee about the decision, what's there to discuss? What's there to discuss? You know what I mean? But again, this is why I'm saying selective because when City conceded the first goal, about three, four, actually no, about six of them, including Edison,
Yep.
ran up to him and were
Yep.
yapping in his face, and you didn't
Yep.
book one of them.
Doku
So,
kicks the
so,
ball away as well in the first half.
so what is Anyway, man.
Now you're right though. You're making good points, man. All of them are valid points because at the end of the day, it's a bit like how are you meant to enjoy the game that you love without people interfering with it so much that like now when a goal goes in, I don't even celebrate the goal. I have to check, make sure he's not offside. Even Nicholas Jackson at the weekend, who clearly was onside, I still had to. I couldn't celebrate that goal. I have to make sure he's onside first, and then is anyone else offside? Anything in the build-up play? Oh, yeah, he's all right. He's all right now. But the game's already kicked off again. Do you know what I mean? I'm already watching the game again, so it's taken away that like euphoria moment of just enjoying the game of football, and it's sad, man. That's why I kind of agree with the Championship, League One, League Two not having VAR, because although they messed up against Preston. That Preston game was nuts. Like them, even the Lewis Baker challenge here, he looked like he snapped his knee.
Chaos. Chaos.
Mental. Do you know what I mean? They miss things like that, but at the same time as well, they let a lot of things go because they haven't got VAR to intervene. And as long as the refs doing their jobs on the pitch properly, then it shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, that's key in it. At least they don't have VAR. Imagine saying that. At least they don't, because if they make a mistake, you say, "Oh, well, at least you haven't got the ability to go and see it back." These guys will make a mistake, see it, and still say, "Yeah, yeah, it's all right." That come on, man. Oh, whatless. You call Mike Oliver the best in the country, and that's what he's doing.
It's
Well,
crazy.
anyway,
It's crazy. Let's move to your club for a little bit because now we're gonna talk good things, man. Well, I'm reading here that they Manchester United's Old Trafford regeneration project could inject 7.3 billion into the UK economy. This is part of Omar Garrick's athletic report, where he's basically saying a new 100,000 seater stadium will inject 7.3 billion pounds, which is the equivalent of $9.7 billion to the UK economy. That's going to include the creation of 92,000 jobs, more than 17,000 new homes, and an additional 1.8 million visitors each year. What's your thoughts? So give me some, because I don't really know much about this. Is this where you're knocking down Old Trafford and rebuilding, or are you rebuilding Old Trafford on a new site?
so that's what they're trying to figure out now, because there is a section not too far from Old Trafford that they want to take,
Yep.
and it is a big car park that they want to sort of just take over and just demolish the whole thing as well from there. So there is that side. Personally, I think they need to move away from the Old Trafford site where it is and go to that new site there that's being proposed, because where Old Trafford is, there's I can't remember which side of it is. Whether it's not Stratford End, but it's another side of it. It might be behind the site it's Felix stand.
What, the train
It's
station
almost
side?
like no, the actually it's a train station. I'm trying to remember my geography. I always come from the tram. But anyway, there's a section behind the stadium that's kind of like just sort of like a dead river and a lot of greenery, but
Okay, okay.
it's dead behind there. It's not nice. It's not good. And I think that whole area just needs regeneration as a whole. Quite frank, to be quite frank with you. So I don't think United fans are very romantic. They would be burning to see Old Trafford go, but sometimes you got to make your new memories, because in 100 years or maybe in 50 years they want to talk about this new stadium being the historic stadium for Manchester United, and so many things have been created there. You can't be afraid of change. You know what I mean? We've had a magical time at Old Trafford, and it's been regenerated since the days of Newton Heath and orders and all that stuff, but it's time. I think it's been time. And to credit the owners, I say the owners, the Ineos rather
Yeah.
than the whole set. Ineos have been very clear, so alongside Sir Jim from early, saying that they were looking to maybe build a new stadium or definitely regenerate Old Trafford, regenerate the area, create new
Yep.
jobs, all that. There's a panic at first where they were sacking a lot of people because of the financials and stuff, but the idea was we would get to the positive first, but we have to deal with negatives because clubs we run poorly. So, yeah, new stadium, 100-seater stadium would be great. Basically, they want to, I think you've heard it before, they want to make a Wembley of the North. And if they can
Yep.
have a 100-seater stadium up there, then you're talking about a stadium that definitely competes with
Oh yeah.
Wembley for numbers, for revenue, for attraction, because a new stadium is always going to look glamorous.
Yep.
Talk over the years, Arsenal's new stadium, when they built it, it looked beautiful, it looked glamorous. And then many, many years later, Spurs built their stadium. and
Yeah.
now it's talked about as one of the best in the land. Because when you go there, I've been there before, and my God, it is stunning.
Yeah, of course.
It's stunning. And now, if United do build a new stadium, that is what they're looking for. They're looking to be known as the best stadium in the country for whatever reason. So it's only good things, man. People can't be afraid of change. I understand it. We've done many great things at Old Trafford, but we've also just got to move with the times, man. So if
Yeah.
it's time to, and I think it'll be way enough easier to build a new stadium than to fix the problems that Old Trafford has.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm excited by it, man. I think it's good, and the big thing is the public money's not being used.
I was just
So
about to say that. I was just about to say the mayor of Manchester, or one of the, I think the mayor of Manchester said yesterday that it isn't public funding, it's all coming from ENOS. I think they've only
yep.
asked actually for public funding, which they're not asking, but this is what you would expect the council to commit to, is the
Yeah,
transport, for the transport around it and all the rest of it. They'll have to build like new tram links and train stations or whatever else. That's understandable, but the fact that they're doing that, and I agree with you. I think Manchester. I think personally, not that it matters, but I think building a new stadium from scratch, new foundations, everything. I think you've been at Old Trafford 1901, something like that. I think off the top of my head,
many, many, many years.
something mad like that.
Many,
Anyway,
many, many years. Yeah.
but I think going to a new stadium will just help. It will just help things, man. I remember when Arsenal first got to the Emirates. I think they struggled the first season or two. I remember Spurs done well. Spurs is, shout out Callum, but Spurs are still kind of struggling at the moment. But just in terms of the stadium itself, it will bring in a lot more revenue, rejuvenate the city, which has already been done anyway. So no, it's impressive, man. It's really, really impressive, and it shout out Sir Jim, man. I'm saying sirs a lot today. Remember I said I wouldn't call anyone sir last season, but Sir Jim, Enos, they've actually put their money where their mouth is, and they're actually getting things done. You know what I mean? That's what they came in to do. They said about the stadium, and that's what they're building. So I think that's a massive, massive positive. And it's going to sound mad as well, but it'll also attract players.
But this is the thing. Look, football has evolved over the times. Like, gone are the days where, like, even when Liverpool was struggling, they got Fernando Torres in because Torres was. They immediately said in the interview, like, he knows, he recognizes the history
Yeah,
of Liverpool. But these days, whilst team players do know a bit about history, they're just attracting more to the project, what
yeah,
they can see around them. City don't have near the history of the traditional top four.
yeah, of
They don't
course,
have
yeah,
the history of they don't. But what they achieve and who they have at the helm and all that kind of stuff, that makes players want to run there.
yeah,
Savinho wanted by City, there's no other club that he was going to go to. Yaya Toure at Barcelona went to Man City, but it's because City were building stuff that you could see it. You know what I mean? So that's what people fall in love with now. But United, what United need to, and I keep saying this to United fans, what you need to understand is you have a unique situation where not only you have that major history, but you have the financials to back it as well. Let these players come. Let's build more. Man United are a historic club. They did so many things. They've won the most Premier League titles. They've done this, that, and the other. And now they've built a new stadium, state of the art training facilities, youth facilities, you know, deal, sponsorship, all the things, the positives that can come out of this. Forget about the sad negatives, because that's what they are. It's more emotional, sad negatives rather than it will be a torrid idea to leave Old Trafford. Old Trafford's beautiful, but it's time to leave. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's time to go. All clubs at some point meet their thing, unless you're like a Barca who they've named it after Santiago Bernabeu,
yeah,
a legend, and they've just continued to rebuild on it and have the allowance to build underneath the stadium as well. So they've just built a magical land over there, and
yeah.
Barcelona haven't been a Camp Nou for years because they're trying to renovate Camp Nou to something magical as well. Like, just move with the times, let these things happen because it's only going to be a positive. It's only going to be a positive.
And like you say, concerts, all sorts, international
Oh,
tournaments in the
no.
future. I think even, I mean, Wembley's what, 90, well, there was 96,000 there
90
for the Joshua.
90,000.
It was, yeah, they had,
90,000, yeah.
but obviously, yeah, for like concerts and that, they can have a couple more in there, but 100,000 seat stadium, it'd be immense. So players are going to want to come there and play in front of that, play in front of that crowd, week in, week out. It's a win-win in my opinion. But
There you go.
very quickly, let's talk about Everton, not because of their results and they're 19th in the league, but because they've actually now, by the looks of it, got Farhad Mashuri, or they're going to get Farhad Mashuri out of the club. Just reading here that Friedkin Group, I don't know who they are, but
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Friedkin Group have basically agreed to complete the takeover of Everton, subject to regularity approval. So it seems like things are happening for Everton. I don't think this will change anything short term for Everton. Obviously, it's that they've
yeah,
still
yeah.
got a lot of debt, I think, and I think it's a majority takeover. But the concern is that Everton, I think Everton fans are thinking this is going to be a quick flip round and takeover happens like that, and everything will be boom, 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 and they'll be nicey, nicey. But the reality is they're still stuck with Sean Dyche. They're still stuck with these players, and they still realistically are looking at a relegation this season. I think long term things will look bright for them. But what's your thoughts on them?
I think the next 2 months are going to be so key. 'Cause I've been reading up on this. Funny enough, before you mentioned it to me, I was reading up on it. So I was like, "Oh, this is great timing." Because I actually wasn't aware of it yesterday. If I'm being very honest with you,
Oh,
I
the
want to.
takeover at all?
Yeah, I wasn't aware of it yesterday
Oh
at
yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah,
No, I think I was out of tune with the world yesterday, to be quite frank.
yeah.
But I was reading up on it, and what I noticed and what I read about was only very promising. Look, so they've got between 8 to 12 weeks to finalize the whole thing now.
Yeah, yeah,
And once they get that finalized, the key thing here is one, they've got the financials to clear the debt. They've got the financials to clear the debt of 777 as well. So
yep,
once you get rid of 777's debt, you can get rid of them as a whole as well. The money they invested of 200 million will come back to them in equity. Like
yep.
there's so many smart financial deals, and if anyone needs an idea of how smart their finance is, check what they did for Roma. They're Roma's owners as well,
Oh really?
and yeah, and they've managed
Okay.
to balance. Roma has some financial issues as well. They've
Yeah,
managed to
yeah, yeah.
balance things properly. And in Serie A, the way you deal with money is very strict. So they've managed to balance books nicely and do things. They are football people. That's why. Well, I say that's why they obviously got rid of Daniel De Rossi very recently because
Yeah.
they weren't convinced anymore. But they won't do it out of sort of not knowing what they want next. They have a plan. They seem like a club like that. That's why they were able to attract Mourinho earlier as well
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they
yeah.
gave Mourinho a plan. Obviously, they didn't enjoy the football he played later on. So even though he got into finals, they just sort of cut ties there. But the ideology behind it is good
Yeah.
and it's very promising for them. If they can get this done between to eight in I say in 8 weeks and get the financials sorted, January is a good time to bring in 3 or 4 players to improve your fortunes. You don't have to splash too heavy.
Yeah.
Look at the market, plan from now. If I'm the freaking group, if it's Sean Dyche and his staff from the scouting department to the coaching department, I tell him to sit down, make a list, really scout extensively, look at players that are affordable, talk to agents, find out transfer fees. If contracts are running out in 6 months, is anyone in the market that could be a bargain? You can grab them at a cheap price. All of this, because that's the difference. That could be the very big difference between Championship and Premier League. And don't get me wrong, it's not going to be it's a negative, obviously, to get relegated, but it might not be a huge overall negative because if they went into the Championship with the current owners, yeah,
Oh yeah,
I
they'd be
think they're in the
immense.
wilderness. Yeah, they're in the wilderness for about 5, 6, 7 years. But with
Yeah.
these guys, you can maybe build something to bring you back up a lot quicker than you would have thought in the past. So yeah, I think rather than 8 to 12 weeks, just get it done. These guys didn't get it done 2 months earlier because they couldn't agree a fee, but they kept on staying there because they want Everton. So that's promising,
Yeah, yeah.
and they see the potential there. And there's a new stadium being built as well. There's potential in that as well. So yeah, yeah, everyone at Everton should push to get this deal done because if they can get it done in 8 weeks, 10 weeks at the most, then I think they can have a good summer and a good January rather, and then try and stay in the league. So it's promising, man. It's promising.
It
It's
is. No,
promising.
like I said, I think long term, I agree, it's promising. I think they have a long term perspective and a project that they'll probably bring in that will look really glamorous. And, they could actually turn it around to be that they're going to be one of the high flyers in the next couple of seasons. But I just think this short term period, 8 to 10 weeks, I think if they can get it done in that time, yeah, brilliant. But if they don't, and another thing as well, normally when a change of ownership, there's always someone who has to go, and normally it is the manager. So I think they have to try and bring in, if they do sack him, which I think I had a conversation about someone before this news broke, but we were like, who did they bring in? How did they pay up Sean Dyche and all the rest of it? But I think if they can bring in a new owner and he says, look, Dyche, your time's done, you've had enough time, it ain't happening, you're 19th. Still, we're in January, you're still 19th. You have to go and get someone. Whether you go and get like a David Moyes just to fill in for a bit before you go and find, you bring in the players, steady the ship, bring all the rest of the players back in, and, you know, like you said, go and look at the 6-monthers and the players that you might want to bring in the summer, try and get some early engagement with them and their agents, and then at least give Moyes a year or two, see what he can do. If he's not the man, go and get your top man. Go and get the top manager, like not an Ancelotti, but an Ancelotti, if you know what I mean. Someone of that level, because at that point, Everton should be, if they plan well and their progression's right and the trajectory's right, they should be looking to get back into Europe. So that should be their ultimate aim. And if they can get a manager that can do that, then yeah, I agree with you. But I just don't, I still don't see it. I still, in this short term, they could go down. If they go down with this owner or next owners, that championship is one of the hardest leagues to get out of. Hard. So I don't want them to go down. I want them to stay in it and all the rest of it. But yeah, struggles.
Oh no, listen, my agenda hasn't changed. Still get the hell out of my league, but I can assess it. I can assess it and be like, all right, cool, but still get the hell out, man.
They're just here to make up numbers right now. But
there you go.
We'll take the 6 points off them. It's all right. Kojo, as always, man, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure. Do you know what I mean? Pleasure.
Come on, always. Yeah, man. I haven't been on this channel for about a week and a half now, so I've been getting withdrawal symptoms. So
exactly.
Now that I know I can run it here a little bit, yeah, I'm good. So yeah, man, we're back.
Yeah, we're back, man. We're back. So yeah, we're gonna run things up. Obviously, keep the debate show going, keep the preview going, all of that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave your thoughts in the comments as well, and also check out the audio version of the podcast. Until next time, we'll be back soon. Enjoy the rest of your week. We're out.